Hey, and welcome back everybody to this channel. In today's episode I'm going to show you how to make an ice water cooler that uses a computer power supply, thermoelectric units, old computer fans, heat sinks, and a copper coil or aluminum or stainless steel, whatever you want to use to make it, and some tubing. The one thing missing from here is a fountain pump. That's the only thing that's needed to complete this, but I'm going to show you the steps that you need to go through to make this thing. Here is a computer power supply, and what I did is I segregated off all the wires. So yellow is 12 volts, this is actually 5 volts, black is ground, and these orange wires are 3.3 volts. And to make the power supply usable outside of a computer tower, you need to take the green wire and one of the ground wires and just join them together so the thing will run. So that's the power supply, and this one's 250 watts. What I have here is four total Peltier cooling modules. First of all, I got a cooling block. Here's my cooling block, and I put some Taiwan tubing on it. Then I'm going to place the cold end of these thermal units on the cooling block like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And then I'm going to put a heat sink. And I have these aluminum heat sinks here, one on top and one on the bottom, and then cool them with a fan. What I'm doing right now is just cutting them so I can screw them together. I'm going to use plenty of thermal paste, and then I've drilled holes for the screws, and the screws are not long enough, so that's why I'm cutting out some of the cooling fins like that to allow me to use shorter screws to compress these two things together. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass water through these tubes, through this cooling block, and it should get cooled, and the fan blowing on these cooling fins should take away the heat. And I have some different types of coils, copper coils, which I'm going to flow water through. So it's going to be a continuous loop using a fountain pump. So here's a small one. So I've taken out the wires here, and I'm going to use this ground wire, which is black, and this yellow wire, which is 12 volts. Here I'm applying plenty of thermal paste onto the cold side. Then I'm going to press it down on this cooling block like that. I'm going to do that for all four of them. It's almost done. Got everything in place, got the screws to hold the other heatsink on top, and I'm ready to add more thermal paste on the top layer. I'm being really generous with this thermal paste because I want good thermal contact. So here goes, and then you want to spread it out evenly. So here it is, almost finished. Everything's connected up. I've got the Peltier cooling modules sandwiched in between these two heat sinks, and two fans across them, computer fans that I salvaged out of an old computer. So basically everything there. Here's my coil. It's a copper coil. It's got corrosion on it, so you wouldn't want to like stick this in a drink to be cooled, but you could stick this in some water and put your cans of drink or whatever you want to consume in the water, and this will in theory replace bits of ice in the water. So that's what we're going to find out. Only thing lacking is my fountain pump. I've got those on order, so we'll check it out in my next video, see how well it works. Till then, peace out, and do appreciate you checking this out.